Halloween special to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special, the Halloween special, welcome to the Halloween special.
Welcome to the Halloween special.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door, only this and nothing more. Distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken said uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now to still the beating of my heart I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, this it is and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I opened wide the door, darkness there and nothing more. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was broken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, 'Lenore.' This I whispered, and an echo murmured back, the word, 'Lenore.' Really this, and nothing more.
Hello and welcome to the Matt Hawker Show. You know, I am a big fan of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I think these are things we all hold dearly, and as a result, we have to throw them away. Anything that you feel is a right that was given to you by a deific course beyond the scope of the human form just needs to be trashed. It's garbage anyway. We don't need that. I think we need to be like most mortal creatures on the ground, just traveling through the mud, eating one another, fighting to the death, and just living 100% off the just raw energy. We're just forces in the wind, just being tussled around like there's just nothing else but wind blowing and blowing and blowing us down into the ground where we dig holes and become mole people. These are things that I feel we need to do a better job of holding close to us and just making us, I don't know, I think that would make us feel whole again. Like a mole hole. That's what I'm talking about here.
Anyway, there's a lot of things I'm not really sure about yet, and most of them come from the spine. The spine is the thing that kind of holds all of our ideas together. It puts them on a big mountaintop, the spine being the mountain, and it just prevents all of the summer and nice spring weather from getting up there. So all the thoughts are just frozen in this tundra, which isn't really a tundra, I guess. It's it's a winter wonderland. I imagine on top of this mountain, just cold and freezing and void of life, with the exception of Santa's workshop. Because as we all know, Santa is in the North Pole, and the North Pole is of course found on top of mountains. Since all mountains indeed connect to the North Pole, Santa can find you at any high point in your life, and he will kill you. He will murder you. Do not climb mountains, folks. Do not discover what's at the top of your spine. Of course, this is all a metaphor for saying that the ideas that we hold in our head are dangerous. They are tormenting. They are furious. They are raw hatred against the world, and we must beware them. Which means that in order to live a fulfilling and friendly and altruistic life, you must only think from the butt. You see, the butt is at the bottom of the spine. The butt knows what's going on. It is connected to the people. It is all across the earth. The mind is above everyone. It thinks it's hot stuff. Or, well, it's freezing, but it thinks it's hot. But it really can't think because it's just on autopilot. The metaphor is getting a little weird, so the gist of it is that if you want to think from the butt. When you think from the butt, well, you'll know that everything is right in the world and it's okay. And you'll be okay. And I don't mean to, I don't want to butt into your life. But, I think the butt is an important piece of the human sculpture. And I'm looking forward to seeing more butts out there. I think more people are getting butts every day. We used to have in the 1800s no butts anywhere, and now everyone has one. It's amazing. It's like a cell phone, except more popular and honestly a little more complicated. But it's just interesting nonetheless. I'm curious to see how butts will evolve and where they'll go from here, and if really we can sort of bring butts into the 21st century in a new modern sleek look, like what Steve Jobs did with Apple. I'm excited to see where butts go. One of the things that I have trouble understanding in this world is, I want to level with you. I'm really smart, so I don't have much trouble these days, but I'm going to be real with you. I have no pockets. I've never had them. I'm not a fan of pockets, and I don't really subscribe to the pocket theory that pockets are even useful or a part of some, natural order of things. I really just think that we should ignore pockets and listen to this interview.
That seems like a do.
All right. Welcome to the show. I'm Matt. How are you doing today? What's going on? What's up?
It kind of seems like I'm doing better than you. I'm doing fine.
I'm doing great. Could I get your name for the show, for the records?
Yeah, this is Kate.
Kate, good to have you here. It's exciting. A lot of people have been telling me to get you on the show for a while now. I've had a lot of letters from fans of yours.
I don't have any
mailed me.
fans. That's cool. Good for you.
No, they're constantly talking to me, Kate, nonstop. I honestly think I talk to them more than my own family. They are just obsessed with you. I don't know what's up with that, but it's just a thing that happens, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. So let's normally I get into some questions here on the show, on the Matt Hawker Show. But today I kind of just want to give some answers and have you ask questions in response to them. Is that okay with you?
Like Jeopardy, only fucked up?
Yeah. Like twice the amount of Jeopardy. All right. So without further ado, okay. This is an apple and an orange.
Is that the first comment you made after the birth of a child?
Yes, that's correct. That's good work. All right. In 1962, these 3 children stepped on a minefield and turned into what?
I thought I was asking questions.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear.
What have you done?
1962.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Right.
then I'm going to go with they turned it. Wait, I'm sorry. Was I naming the children or am I naming what they turned into? Because that's an important difference.
What was that?
Am I naming the children or am I naming what they turned into?
Why not both? Por qué no las dos? Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm going to name the children Joe, Frank, and Sue. And I believe that they turned into 3 major lunchtime vegetables for public schools.
Do you think Joe Frankenstew has anything to do with Joe Frankincense?
That is not up to me without a DNA test at hand.
What if I told you right now that I am a living, walking DNA test, that I have the ability to decipher any DNA that's put in front of me?
Well, then you should do the testing.
Yeah, but I'm also a liar, so I don't think that would make much sense. What do you put on your pancakes?
When do I put them on? I usually put them on first thing in the morning. Got it.
That's cool. Do you think that 9/11 was an inside job?
No.
Yeah, here's the thing about that. I think what's tricky about the whole thing, okay, so like if it was an inside job, did they send planes like from the inside of the towers outside and then explode the air? Like, I don't think the phrasing makes sense.
Well, it seems like also inside of what? Because there's different ways to define inside.
Right. That's, inside is very relative, like inside the atmosphere of the planet. Because if that's true, then, anything is an inside job.
Exactly. I wouldn't even necessarily restrict it to that.
Right. And then not to mention, like if you call it an inside job, like whose job was it? Like, are they getting paid? Do they have a pension? I don't think so.
Oh, they might.
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. Like, I kind of wonder a lot if like people that like blow stuff up in the world, like if they have a pension, you know what I mean? Like they have like a retirement fund or anything like that. Like, is that a thought that comes up? Like, I really just don't know.
I mean, what do you consider the armed forces?
I don't know. What do you think of this sound right here? Is that doing anything for you?
It reminds me quite a bit of the numerous hearing tests that I have had to sit through.
Ah, okay, cool. Well, this is actually a hearing test. This whole big event has actually been a gigantic test for you to really discern how intelligent your hearing scope is. And I'm going to have to go ahead and give your ears an IQ of 164. They are certified genius. What's next for you?
Are we testing a different body part?
Or no, it's all your ears, all ears.
Okay, well,
the genius of your ears.
That is one of the first times I've ever heard that they are smart because I am hard of hearing.
Oh, well, I think that honestly makes them smarter. I mean, life is hard. They work out. They get strong.
And they hide. Yeah, for sure. Better to not hear the things that are going on. Absolutely.
I mean, I think there's a lot of sounds in this world that we waste our time listening to.
Like children.
You know what I mean?
So I have 4 kids, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Holy cow. Yeah, no, like, who needs to hear that, That's just a waste of time. That's a waste of ear
4
energy.
is entirely too many.
I mean, why don't you just, like, combine them?
Oh,
like,
there are... well, see, actually, what I do
or...
is that if I get particularly unhappy, you pick one up and beat another one with it, and it's very efficient.
Okay, interesting,
you know what I mean?
Interesting. I generally do believe and subscribe to the efficiency of child thwacking. Do you do like old-timey cartoon sounds like thwack or pow or ha-cha-cha?
I don't know. I'm hard of hearing, but I hope so. I hope that happens.
Oh, okay. I mean, do you make the kids do the sounds like, look, I'm going to swing you into Johnny, and when you hit him, you need to go thwack?
No, by that point, I am done conversing with them verbally.
Mm-hmm. 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 So are they not talking to each other during this, like having a normal conversation?
I've tuned them out by then.
Interesting.
It works best if it's sort of a shock, if you just sort of come in from the side, a stealth attack.
Right. Can you go ahead and give us a list of sounds you haven't heard?
I cannot hear my husband's alarm clock.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot hear Niagara Falls.
Right.
And I deliberately ignored my first mother-in-law for several years.
Interesting. Do you think ignorance is bliss?
I think it is when it's present tense.
What if it's future tense?
Well, always then. I'm just blissful about everything. I don't know.
Right. You know what?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know him really that well. But hopefully I'll get to know him after this episode. Do you think that airplanes are made out of acorns?
Not all of them.
How about half of them?
Because if more of them were made out of acorns, then we would get the best images ever of like squirrels plastered along the outside.
Right, but how do you explain flying squirrels then?
I don't explain flying squirrels. I avoid them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Moving on. Do you think the foundation of democracy is based on octopuses?
Well, yeah, that's why it's so squishy.
All right, well, that's good to know. I think I really feel like the political discourse that we have in today's modern society can be solved by just sushi wraps and
throwing them at each other, perhaps. Yeah, because there's not actually all that much in the way of intelligent discourse happening anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I would really enjoy a Senate that was like just like that was it, like the Senate, like that's it.
I would enjoy a Senate that was made of marshmallows.
I would love a marshmallow Senate, just with just right over the fire for a little while.
I'd say s'mores, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the three branches of government are based on s'mores. A lot of people don't know this. You have the marshmallow Senate, you have the Graham House, and then of course you have the chocolate.
No, don't. I'm going to stop you right there. Women don't joke about chocolate, and especially compared to the current president.
Well, I just mean the presidents in general. They've always been made out of chocolate.
Up till now, perhaps. Now he's made out of money.
I mean, a lot of people don't know. Well, yeah, that's chocolate money. It's like gold chocolate coins.
You just can't joke about chocolate in reference to that particular man.
Okay. I'm sorry. All I know is that normally when we elect someone in the presidential position, a lot of us see the force like holds them down and inject a little chocolate, including raw sugar and
Yeah, no, this one is from Swiss snakes.
Oh, okay. Were these snakes, poisonous snakes? Poisonous snakes. Okay. All right. So would you say then that like he's still snakes?
Not the thing with Kennedy, the thing which you make snakes.
Oh, yeah.
You got real good.
Right. So would you say that our politics is made of chocolate snakes?
You just got to go a little more poisonous snakes.
Well, that was pretty great. In the sequential order of life, there are three things to keep in mind. The first thing is thing, the second thing is second, and the third thing is first. When you look at this order, you will understand that the ordained altitudes of man and human and king and queen are all bequeathed upon us by the words in which I am using here, which are illogical and insensible and irregular, and quite frankly, any other word that you can apply to things that don't quite add up, you can apply to the sentence before us here. I find it pretty strange that homeless people still ask for cash. And I'm not saying that to be mean, I just think they're not with the times. I think most things now are done digitally or with credit cards or with Apple Pay or, whatever. But the point is, a lot of people, they don't carry cash around. And I think that there's a solution to this. I'm of the opinion that every homeless person should carry around a card reader. They could get like a Square or Apple Square or Banana Square or whatever. They're like, hey, could you spare a couple dollars? Someone says no. Well, boom, you pull out your homeless credit card app and hey, that's okay, pal. Come on, just swipe on right here. Scan that card over here. I got you. What's your, and they could go beyond this. Like the homeless people could start banks. Like, hey, would you be able to spare a couple dollars? I'm dying. Please, I'm homeless. Please help me. Please. And then someone else will be like, what? What? I couldn't hear you. And then the homeless person would apologize profusely and say that he owns a bank, a homeless bank for non-homeless people. You can open up an account, get a credit card, and there's like an APR financing of 66%. whether or not you make payments, and that all goes to the homeless, and they'll go, oh, well, okay, well, I do like helping the homeless, and I do like saving money. And like, yeah, great, we'll open that account for you immediately. And that's my joke about the homeless. Thank you for listening. Let's talk about Halloween. Halloween is here. We got a lot of Halloween. It's here. Halloween is here. And I like that. I'm a big fan of that. It's Halloween here on the Halloween show starring Halloween. And there is nothing better than love. I think that really, I think ultimately, the thing about the centerpiece, ultimately, hey there. Welcome to the Matt Hawker Show. I'm Matt Hawker. Today on the Matt Hawker Show, we're going to be covering the latest grooves. That's right, snap to it with sounds from all over the world. These sounds are made of you and me and the spleens of thousands of fish all across the world. Do fish have spleens? We're going to find out as we jump rope using the dorsal fins of octopuses. And of course, the ocean is terrifying. Oh my God, it's so scary. So many things in there in the deep just swimming around, and they just, oh, holy cow. Why? Why does it exist? Why is it real? What is happening? Let's tune in now to the ocean. Go ahead, ocean. That was the ocean. All right. Anyway, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the gritty nitties. So I have 2 gritties and I have 1 nitty. What do you think I can do with that? Can I sell it somewhere? I don't think so. I really don't think we can sell anything anywhere these days. I think most salespeople have no interest in buying, and it's frustrating. Where's the haggling these days? I miss haggling. I want to haggle with some hagglers. I want to just get down into the ground, haggle. I just want to haggle with people. I want people to try to sell me something or buy something from me. Like, I feel like I should be able to go to any stranger in the world and just say, like, hey, I want that coat. And they're like, no, I'm not going to give it to you. It's my coat. And then I haggle with them. With like my fists, or I don't know, with a gun, Second Amendment rights, First Amendment rights. I don't know. I could haggle my rights away. Like, has anyone tried haggling their rights away before? Like, can you haggle your free speech? Like, hey, I want that bar of soap. That'll be $6.50. I can give you my free speech. Okay, I mean that's reasonable. I don't really know any of this works. I don't really know anything. I'm just here. I don't really get anything.
You came here looking for me, and now you found me. What's next for you? You're stuck in here with me. Wow, smart guy, aren't ya? What are we gonna do with you?
The Halloween episode today is brought to you by Thanksgiving, which is here right now. I want to give thanks to the giving people of New York. Thank you, rich New Yorkians everywhere, for donating your money into the pockets of potatoes everywhere. That's right. Your donations to every local potato will indeed save one homeless spud. Absolutely incredible. We brought it back to homeless people. What's going on over there? Why are homeless people so homeless? Do they not have homes? That doesn't make sense. I don't know. Anyway, here's where I'm at right now. Here's what's going on. Here's not really sure why life is a thing that's existing right now. I don't really understand life. I'm just living it. I'm trying to live it, but I don't really understand why I'm living it. I think we go through a day-to-day experience just cycling through all the things that we think give life meaning, but really don't. Today, for example, I ate some food. That is the frontier of my existence. To eat and sleep and consume, and that is what drives me, and everything else is just flavor. I mean, I'm just an eating vessel. Like, I have a hole in my face, I just stuff it, and then it comes back out later on. That is the core of human identity. That's all we are. And everything else is built around that one long snake-like tube that just burns energy and then just disposes of it. We're disgusting. Humans are disgusting. Oh my God. Ugh. Anyway, I want to give thanks to my family, my friends, my loved ones, the children of the world, the homeless. I want to give thanks to them. I want to give thanks to those who write thank you cards and those who write I'm sorry cards. I want to give thanks to my esophagus. I want to give thanks to the large intestine, but not the small intestine. It doesn't deserve it this year. I just want to give thanks to all of you, the listeners. I think you've done a lot of good in this world, and I'm excited to see where you go next. I think that now that you've listened to the show and you've sort of found your place in this wacky world, you can do anything. I mean, the sky is the limit at this point. And I don't just mean like the sky of the world. I mean the sky of any planet you want to go to. You're not limited. Well, you're limited in the sense that when you reach that sky of another planet, you're not going to be able to cross its barrier. I'm not saying that by listening to the show, you can land on other planets. You can't, but you can hover above them, which is what aliens do on our planet every day, because they too have a crazy, strange, wacky podcast host on their planet that's given them permission to hover over us. And that's what Thanksgiving is all about. That's why we're here for each other today, with love and grace and humility. I think hubris is a dangerous drug, and I think that, I just, as much as I am obsessed with myself and believe that I truly am the greatest being in existence, and I strive to continue this trend beyond all other trends, I want to take a moment and just sort of rationalize humility and make peace with that. Yeah, I want to make peace with that. I don't like turkey. I'd never understood turkey. This is a Halloween episode. Welcome to the Halloween show, the Matt Hawker Halloween show. Here's the spookiness. Hold on, let me just get that spookiness right here. Hold on. Oh boy, here it is. Wow, here it is. That was a spooky. Man, wow, great. That was exciting, wasn't it? That was really nice. I like that. I don't really get why people murder other people in Halloween movies. I don't really understand why that's scary. I mean, part of my frustration with that is that in a horror movie, the ultimate suffering is dying, in theory, but if there's three possible outcomes of this. Number one is if they're religious, or you're religious as an audience member, and you assume that the person being killed is religious, then they go to heaven and live a life of euphoria for eternity. If you're atheist, then all it means is that nothing happens. You experience nothingness. So since that's inevitable, the killer really isn't doing much of anything. He's just ending this, and then you have nothing. So that's fine. And I guess those are the only possibilities, really, unless you believe in, I don't know, something else. But I think that's pretty much it. You either believe in something after this or nothing. Maybe reincarnation. So like maybe they murder someone and that person is reincarnated as another person to murder, but I don't really think that makes much sense either. So ultimately, horror movies there's no real reason to fear it. You're going to die and then nothing happens and that's it. That's all there is. So how do we make horror movies more frightening? What do we need to do to really drive that fear home? And I have a couple ideas. Idea number one, instead of killers in horror movies or beings that destroy humans, they actually create them. The whole horror movie is about birthing people into the world so that they can suffer with the rest of us. That's it. That's the whole movie. And I'm not talking about pregnancy. I'm just saying, like, they find a way to go into the void of non-existence, and they find these whispers just humming along, and they say, I'm going to make you a real thing. They're like, no, God, no. And then they become a baby like that. And it's horrifying. Like that. Just start pooping them out. Just infinite babies just coming up everywhere. And they just keep doing it. And then we have an overpopulation problem. So then they don't want to kill anyone because, that's not really scary. So all these people are just hoarded into camps and stuffed with tubes and then fed for eternity so they can just live forever. Perhaps the ultimate scary thing isn't death, it's never dying. I mean, when you think about it, death is either nothing or it's great. I mean, I guess it could be hell, but in theory, in the horror movie verse, I feel like that's reserved for the bad guys. That's where they go. They go to hell if they're evil. So what's so scary? Nothing. They just kill you and do you a favor. They speed up the whole process of existence. That doesn't sound too bad. I don't know. I think horror movies pretty much are, they're god-awful. They're just terrible pieces of trash, and no one should ever watch them. Ever. Let's talk about snakes. What's happening in the snake world? Nothing. All right, let's talk about beach balls. Summer's coming up here pretty soon. It is November 21st, so we only got a couple more days for that. What are you doing for your summer swimwear? What are you wearing? What's going on over there? Anyone? No? Okay. Well, I'm going to wear a winter coat because it's not summer, you fools. Of course winter's coming up. What? You thought just because I said summer was coming, then it was just going to be here? Look, I know I'm all powerful and I know I'm great, but this isn't the kind of world that I want to live in, a world where you believe everything I say. So I want to tell you 3 things, and I want the listeners tuning in to tell me which one's the lie. You can tweet me at, what's my Twitter? Oh my God. Twitter.com/Matt Hawker Show. Just tweet me at twitter.com/Matt Hawker Show with the correct answer. All right, here are 3 things. Which is the lie? Thing number 1. I pooped today. Thing number 2. I pooped yesterday. Thing number 3. When I was 16, I made an excuse about going to school to avoid an interaction with my great-great-grandfather, who was trying to tell me a story about the war and how he saved countless lives. But I didn't want to hear it because I felt ashamed because I would never be as great as him. And so I told him I was going to school on a Sunday, and I lied to him, and he died that day. And I never got to listen to that story, or just I feel like I've disrespected him to the very core. And I think I feel as if I've hurt him in the infinite, that he'll never be able to tell me this tale, and I let him down. And I feel so bad. I really do. I feel terrible. He could have told me his story and how he saved those lives, and I'll never know now. His legend died with him. It'll never be passed on like the great stories before us now. Huckleberry Finn, Cat in the Hat, Clifford the Big Red Dog. Clifford the Big Red Dog. So you can tweet me at twitter.com/Matt Hawker Show, at Matt Hawker Show, and let me know which one you thought was the lie and which ones were the truths. Anyway, let's listen to these things.
Hey, you all right? Are you doing okay? Are you hanging in there? Hanging in there better than anybody else out there? All I gotta know is, why are you hanging in there? Why continue? Why are you doing this? Like, what is the point? Where are we at? Where am I at? Hold on. Where am I at? I'm parked on the side of the house. Hold on. No, I'm okay. But are you okay? Are you okay? Are we gonna do this? Or is anybody gonna do this? What are we doing? What is happening? What's going on? Yo, like what is, I just want to know. I just have to know. I just have to know what is going on. Is everything, are we just here? Like, I'm just sitting here enjoying myself. I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying myself. I am enjoying myself and everything that happens to be passing by my existence. It's all good. It's all good.
Wow, that was garbage. All right, let's listen to this.
Well, how's it going? How's it going there, buddy? You got yourself a show now? Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm proud of you, buddy. You're doing it. You made it, buddy. I'm real glad. Can't wait to see where this goes from here. See you, buddy.
No, that's still garbage. Maybe. Oh, God. What do we do about sardines? Why are they here? Why I don't really get that. What's going on there? Let's do some investigative journalism on that, shall we? Let's see here. Sardines. I'm just going to look at this, look at this, look at this. Halloween episode. So Halloween. Halloween was inspired by the pilgrims of the 1700s that nobody knew existed. They finally settled on the west coast of the United States of America after visiting Japan and buying a bunch of giant robot figurines. And they set those up. That was pretty cool. And they thought this was going great. And then they realized that the giant robots weren't edible. So they died and buried their giant robots with them so no one could ever find them until the early 1900s when anime was made. Fun fact for you. The Pilgrims of the West Coast invented anime. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'm Matt Hawker. Just kidding. The episode's still going. You know, I think personally that life is just a bottle of scotch. You know, just a big old bottle of scotch just sitting there, just being all scotchy. Kind of like scotch tape. Do scotch and scotch tape have anything in common? Are they, I guess they're both sticky? Like, is scotch tape just like does it have scotch drizzled onto it? I wonder about a lot of things. Like, is a whiskey just a key that whisks? Language is really strange. I mean, we got like vodka. Is it just a ka that vods? You know, a vodding ka, the vod of the ka. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Or tequila. Does it just stand for segregation? I don't know. Alcohol is weird. Wordplay. Does it just stand for horrible things that nobody should believe in anymore? I have no idea. What about beer? What does that mean? Who knows? I don't know. I know nothing. Anyway, thanks for listening to the Matt Hawker Show today. I'm Matt Hawker. You can tune in on twitter.com/Matt Hawker Show, facebook.com/The Matt Hawker Show, or you can find me on Patreon, where you can donate money at patreon.com/Matt Hawker Show. I'm also on Podchaser. You can find me on Podchaser. I'm on all these things and more. Life is happening. It's great. We have a Discord. You can tune in the Discord and join other people as they look at each other. They just look at each other on the names. Those are the references I have to the internet world. That's where they are. They're happening right now, right here. Don't let this be your moment. Don't let this be your time. Go beyond this. You can do anything you want. This is your time to be who you want to be. This is your journey. Don't let me get in the way of that. I think you're beautiful, just like I think I'm beautiful. I don't. But we can be ugly together. Take my disgusting, warty hand and embrace this moment, but not too close, because you smell really, really bad, and so do I. But they're two different scents, so we can still recognize them and recognize that the other smells bad, but be incapable of recognizing our own putrid stench because we were born in it. It consumed us at an early age. That's where we're at right now. Close your eyes. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.